What if Lovecraft's monsters weren't just figments of his imagination, but glimpses of something terrifyingly real? Could his cosmic horror tales reflect hidden truths about the universe, hinting at forces beyond human comprehension and our utter insignificance in the face of them? But what happens when artists inadvertently tap into forbidden knowledge, channeling truths they were never meant to uncover? Howard Phillips Lovecraft, a master of the macabre, stands as a titan in the realm of horror literature. He conjured into existence the cosmic horror subgenre, a chilling blend of science fiction, ancient mythology, and existential dread that continues to captivate and disturb readers today. His unique vision has inspired countless artists, writers, and filmmakers, solidifying his place as a cornerstone of modern horror. While many perceive Lovecraft as a purely imaginative writer, spinning yarns of cosmic entities and forgotten civilizations from the depths of his own mind, others suggest something far stranger, that his tales are not mere fantasy, that he was somehow influenced by external forces, or even more disturbingly, that he was a conduit to something more, something real. But are these just wild speculations, or is there a hidden truth lurking beneath the surface of his unsettling fiction? To even begin to consider Lovecraft's potential connection to something real, we must first address the term occultism. Occultism encompasses a vast and intricate web of esoteric traditions and hidden knowledge systems passed down through secret societies, ancient texts, and mystical practices. Hermeticism, with its emphasis on the interconnectedness of all things and the power of the human mind. Kabbalah, a mystical interpretation of the Hebrew Bible that seeks to unlock the secrets of the universe. And Gnosticism, with its radical dualism and its emphasis on personal spiritual knowledge, are all examples of the traditions of occultism, each offering a unique lens through which to perceive reality and our place within it. In the course of this video, we will explore the tantalizing possibility that Lovecraft's fictional world is not entirely divorced from the principles, symbols, and entities found within these occult traditions. Is there something to these claims, or are people simply reading into things? The central problem, as we see it, is that many Lovecraft enthusiasts remain largely unaware of the potential occult underpinnings of his work. They may revel in the chilling narratives, the grotesque creatures, and the unsettling atmosphere, yet fail to recognize the deeper symbolic meanings and philosophical implications embedded within the stories. But imagine the potential value of understanding these connections. Appreciation of Lovecraft and a new lens for understanding occult traditions could mutually and reciprocally flourish. Could understanding one help shed light on the other, providing a richer, more nuanced, and infinitely more terrifying interpretation? Lovecraft's cosmic horror, while presented as fiction, inadvertently tapped into genuine archetypes and concepts found within ancient occult traditions, reflecting humanity's subconscious awareness of cosmic truths. His infamous Necronomicon is more than just a fictional book, and its contents align with real occult texts in both a symbolic and practical fashion. Figures like Aleister Crowley and Kenneth Grant furthered this connection between occultism and the Lovecraftian mythos, so we must consider these figures throughout this video to truly understand the connection. Now let's begin our journey into the shadowy realms where Lovecraftian horror meets ancient occult knowledge, by examining specific entities and concepts in Lovecraft's work and comparing them to their potential occult counterparts. Then, we shall further explore potential sources of Lovecraft's inspiration, including his personal library, his correspondence, and the cultural context of his time. In doing so, we intend to provide a framework for understanding the deeper symbolic meaning of Lovecraft's stories and their profound relevance to the ongoing human quest for knowledge. Could it be that Lovecraft, a man of immense imagination, was also unknowingly tapping into something far older, far more profound, and far more unsettling than he ever realized? To explore this possibility, we must turn to the concept of archetypes, those universal patterns and primordial images residing deep within the collective unconscious. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung posited that archetypes are universal, inborn predispositions to experience and represent certain fundamental themes or patterns in human life. These archetypes, he argued, manifest across cultures and throughout history in myths, dreams, art, and religious symbolism. Think of the hero, the mother, the shadow, or the wise old man. These are not simply characters in stories, but rather fundamental patterns of human experience, etched into our very psyches, as if the blueprint of the soul is the same across the world. It is through these archetypes that we find meaning in the chaos of existence, connecting us to something larger than ourselves, something ancient and universal. These archetypes, as Jung suggested, are not merely abstract concepts, but living forces that shape our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. They manifest in our dreams as symbolic figures, in our myths as heroic narratives, and in our art as potent imagery. But here is where it gets truly interesting. Many occult symbols and systems are believed to represent these same archetypal forces. The symbols of alchemy, for instance, are not simply chemical notations, but rather representations of the transformation of the self, mirroring the archetypal journey of individuation. Similarly, the figures of the tarot can be seen as embodiments of different archetypal energies, offering a map of the human psyche and its potential for growth and transformation. Now consider Lovecraft's entities. Could these monstrous beings and alien gods be seen as manifestations of these same archetypes? Could they be subconscious expressions of universal human fears and fascinations, bubbling up from the collective unconscious and taking shape in Lovecraft's unsettling tales? If so, then Lovecraft's work is not simply a product of his imagination, but a reflection of something far deeper, a glimpse into the primal forces that shape our very being. But how can we connect specific entities in Lovecraft to archetypes, and what implications can be derived from those connections? Let's turn our attention to Cthulhu, Lovecraft's most iconic creation, and see if we can discern any archetypal or occult parallels. Cthulhu, that colossal, ancient entity slumbering in the drowned city of Arlae, is perhaps Lovecraft's most enduring creation, a being whose very existence inspires cosmic dread. With his octopus-like head, dragon-like wings, and immense size, Cthulhu embodies an alienness that defies human comprehension. When Cthulhu awakens, madness and chaos follow, threatening to shatter the foundations of human sanity. Stories tell of artists suddenly painting monstrous visions, scholars suddenly understanding the true nature of the universe, and people taking their own lives to escape the crushing cosmic dread. But is Cthulhu simply a monster, or does he represent something more profound? Consider Cthulhu as an archetypal figure, a great old one or ancient god, a being of immense power existing outside human understanding. In this light, Cthulhu can be compared to figures representing primal chaos in various occult traditions. Think of Tiamat, the Mesopotamian goddess of chaos and the sea, a primordial being whose defeat led to the creation of the cosmos. Or Leviathan, the monstrous sea serpent of Jewish mythology, a symbol of the untamed forces of creation. The Gnostic demiurge, an imperfect creator god associated with the material world, who imprisons souls within the physical realm. What do these figures have in common? They all represent the raw, unformed potential of existence, the chaotic forces that precede order and structure. They are monstrous in form, aquatic in nature, and exist outside the realm of human understanding. Cthulhu, like these figures, could represent the human encounter with the terrifying, unformed potential of the collective unconscious, the dark and chaotic depths from which all creativity and destruction spring. But the rabbit hole of occult horror connection goes deeper. It is not just entities that have a connection, but the texts themselves. Let us consider the infamous Necronomicon. The Necronomicon, Lovecraft's fictional grimoire of forbidden knowledge, is perhaps as famous as Cthulhu himself. A book said to contain dangerous secrets about the cosmos and ancient entities, it is whispered to drive those who seek its knowledge mad. While entirely fictional, the Necronomicon has taken on a life of its own, inspiring countless artists, writers, and even occultists. But what is it about this fictional book that resonates so deeply? Why does it continue to capture our imagination? The Necronomicon taps into the archetype of the forbidden book, a text containing secrets that can drive those who seek them mad. This archetype is present in many cultures, from the apocryphal books of the Bible to the esoteric texts of alchemy and magic. But consider the real-world grimoires and occult texts that bear a striking resemblance to the Necronomicon. The Book of Abramelin, for instance, details a complex ritual for contacting one's holy guardian angel, but warns of the dangers of misusing its power. The Lesser Key of Solomon details the summoning of demons and spirits, promising power and knowledge, but at a terrible price. The Emerald Tablet, an ancient Hermetic text, outlines the principles of alchemy and the interconnectedness of all things, but its secrets are said to be accessible only to those who are spiritually prepared. These texts, like the Necronomicon, promise access to hidden knowledge and power, but warn of the dangers of seeking truths beyond human comprehension. They are filled with detailed rituals, incantations, and sigils, offering a glimpse into a world beyond our own. Could the Necronomicon, then, represent the human fascination with forbidden knowledge, the desire to know the unknowable, and the potential dangers of seeking truths that may shatter our understanding of reality? But we still have the all-encompassing Yog-Sothoth. Yog-Sothoth, a Lovecraftian entity embodying cosmic totality, exists beyond space and time, connected to all things. His form is incomprehensible, a mass of glowing spheres, and he serves as a gatekeeper to other dimensions. Yog-Sothoth is the key and the gate, the one who knows all and sees all. He is the ultimate source of knowledge and power, but his nature is so alien that human minds cannot grasp it without shattering. But what does Yog-Sothoth truly represent? Perhaps Yog-Sothoth represents the archetypal figure of the all-in-one, or absolute, a being encompassing all existence. In occult traditions, this concept is represented by figures such as the Kabbalistic Ein Sof, or the limitless light, the unmanifest source of all creation. The Hermetic concept of the all, the underlying principle of existence encompassing all things. The Gnostic Pleroma, the totality of divine powers and emanations. Like Yog-Sothoth, these concepts represent a cosmic totality that transcends human comprehension. They are beyond space and time, connected to all things, and ultimately unknowable. Yog-Sothoth, then, could represent the human attempt to grapple with the infinite, the unknowable nature of reality, the ultimate mystery that lies at the heart of existence. Think of modern attempts to explain the shape of higher dimensions and the nature of consciousness. But where did Lovecraft get the inspiration for such similar entities? It is important to acknowledge that Lovecraft never explicitly stated that his works were based on occult traditions. He was, by all accounts, a staunch materialist and skeptic, with little interest in organized religion or mysticism. However, we must remember Lovecraft's vast personal library, filled with books on mythology, folklore, and the occult, and the period he lived in, a time of great cultural change, from the Industrial Age to the Golden Age of occult revival. Is it possible that Lovecraft was subconsciously drawing upon archetypal images and occult concepts present in the collective unconscious? Could his imagination have been unconsciously shaped by the cultural and intellectual currents of his time? It is a tantalizing possibility, one that suggests that Lovecraft's work may be even more profound and disturbing than we ever imagined, and a point we will revisit in the last portion of this video. But what more can Lovecraft's life and his own works tell us? Let us now explore that to see if any other connection can be made from a biographical standpoint. Was Lovecraft truly a solitary figure, a recluse spinning tales from the depths of his own mind, or was he, perhaps unknowingly, a conduit for something far more ancient and unsettling? We know he was an avid reader of pulp magazines and fantasy fiction, but did his influences extend beyond the realm of the purely imaginative? Given the intentional obscurity and self-mythologizing surrounding his life, we are left to wonder, what, if anything, was he trying to conceal? The common perception of Lovecraft is that of a reclusive and eccentric individual, a man largely detached from the bustling currents of early 20th century life. Yet, this image stands in stark contrast to the vastness and disturbing complexity of his fictional universe. How could a man, seemingly so limited in his exposure to the world, conjure such vivid and unsettling visions of cosmic entities, forgotten gods, and forbidden knowledge? Could the answer lie not in the realm of pure imagination, but in some subtle, perhaps subconscious, connection to the esoteric traditions that were gaining momentum during his lifetime? We must explore Lovecraft's life for clues about his potential exposure to, or subconscious awareness of, occult themes and traditions, attempting to unravel this enigma from a biographical point of view. Lovecraft's intellectual pursuits were wide-ranging and voracious. He possessed a deep love of classic literature, ancient history, and scientific exploration. He was a keen observer of the natural world, and his stories often reflect a fascination with astronomy, geology, and the mysteries of the universe. But how, or where, would he have had access to occult knowledge? His extensive correspondence with other writers, intellectuals, and amateur scholars provides a possible avenue for the exchange of ideas, theories, and perhaps even esoteric knowledge. Moreover, Lovecraft was undeniably fascinated by mythology and folklore. His stories are replete with references to ancient gods, forgotten legends, and supernatural beliefs drawn from various cultures around the world. But how are myths and legends related to occult knowledge? The subtle influence of such concepts could be the key to understanding his creations. It's crucial to remember that Lovecraft lived during a period marked by a resurgence of interest in occultism, spiritualism, and esoteric philosophies. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw the rise of numerous occult societies, the proliferation of spiritualist movements, and the popularization of esoteric ideas through books, magazines, and public lectures. Lovecraft, despite his skepticism and materialism, could not have remained entirely untouched by these cultural and intellectual currents. What kind of occult knowledge was prevalent during the time? The air itself was thick, with talk of hidden dimensions, ancient secrets, and the untapped potential of the human mind. It is within this rich, albeit often shadowy, context that Lovecraft's imagination took flight. Consider the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, a prominent example of a Western occult organization that flourished during Lovecraft's lifetime. This group stands as a potent symbol of the era's fascination with hidden knowledge. Emerging in the late 19th century, the Golden Dawn synthesized Hermeticism, Kabbalah, Egyptian mythology, and other esoteric traditions into a complex and innovative system of ritual magic and spiritual development. What are some potential similarities with Lovecraft's works? Its teachings emphasized ritual magic, symbolic interpretation, and the exploration of inner states of consciousness. Members sought to unlock hidden powers within themselves and to gain access to higher realms of reality through the use of elaborate rituals, symbolic meditation, and the study of ancient texts. The Golden Dawn attracted a diverse membership, including prominent figures in the arts and literature. W.B. Yeats, the celebrated Irish poet, was a dedicated member, as was Arthur Machen, a Welsh author of supernatural fiction whose work shares striking thematic similarities with Lovecraft's own. Aleister Crowley, the infamous occultist, was also a member of the Golden Dawn, though his involvement was marked by controversy and discord. How can their works be analyzed for similar Lovecraftian themes? These individuals, and many others associated with the Golden Dawn, were deeply influential in shaping the cultural landscape of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, playing a significant role in the modern occult revival. This was the environment Lovecraft lived in, at least culturally, and it's likely that he was exposed to these ideas even if he did not directly study them. While there is no concrete evidence to suggest that Lovecraft was a direct member or follower of the Golden Dawn, it is tempting to speculate about the possibility of indirect influence. Perhaps he encountered their teachings through his extensive reading, or perhaps he absorbed their ideas through the cultural osmosis of his time. The thematic and symbolic similarities between Lovecraft's stories and the Golden Dawn's worldview are striking. The concept of hidden dimensions or realities beyond human perception, for instance, is central to both Lovecraft's fiction and the Golden Dawn's teachings. The existence of powerful, ancient entities that predate humanity, beings whose very existence challenges our understanding of reality, is another recurring theme in both. Consider the dangers of seeking forbidden knowledge or tampering with forces beyond our control, a cautionary message that resonates throughout Lovecraft's work and the esoteric traditions of the Golden Dawn. How might the collective unconscious tie the two together? Furthermore, it's important to recognize that the Golden Dawn was not the only occult order operating at the time. Numerous other groups, each with its own unique blend of esoteric teachings and practices, flourished during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. From Theosophy to Rosicrucianism, these movements offered alternative pathways to spiritual enlightenment and attracted a wide following of seekers and intellectuals. Lovecraft, even if he remained skeptical of their claims, could not have been entirely unaware of their existence. This begs the question, could Lovecraft's subconscious mind have been attuned to the same archetypal currents and esoteric ideas that informed the Golden Dawn's teachings and those of other occult orders? Could his imagination have been unconsciously shaped by the collective anxieties and aspirations of a world grappling with the mysteries of existence? We have now explored the evidence suggesting a potential connection between Lovecraft's life, the Golden Dawn, and broader occult themes, realizing that there is no concrete proof Lovecraft directly studied the occult. While this connection remains speculative, it provides a valuable framework for understanding the deeper symbolic meaning of Lovecraft's work, suggesting that his tales may be more than mere exercises in imaginative horror. Now, let us explore specific symbols and motifs in Lovecraft's stories that resonate with occult traditions. How can we further analyze Lovecraft's works with this knowledge? The truth is out there, and we must delve further to seek the light. Building upon the possibility that Lovecraft's unsettling narratives weren't mere figments of imagination, but rather reflections of deeper, perhaps subconsciously perceived, esoteric truths, we arrive at a pivotal question. Could specific recurring symbols and motifs within his stories serve as keys to unlocking this hidden dimension? Let us embark on a journey to explore these symbolic echoes, beginning with two potent examples, the serpent or dragon and the star or constellation, both of which resonate deeply within various occult and esoteric traditions. By analyzing these symbols, can we gain a more profound insight into Lovecraft's potential connection to the hidden currents of occult thought that permeated his era? The serpent or dragon, as a symbol, is a ubiquitous presence across numerous cultures and esoteric traditions, embodying a complex and often contradictory range of meanings. It slithers through the annals of mythology, folklore, and occult philosophy, its scales shimmering with both dread and fascination. Within occultism, the serpent or dragon often represents a dualistic force, embodying both chaos and destruction, but also wisdom and transformation. Is it truly a destructive being, or simply misunderstood? Think of the serpent as a primal energy, a raw, untamed force that can either tear down the established order or catalyze profound change. Consider its association with the Kundalini, the serpent power coiled at the base of the spine, representing the potential for spiritual awakening and the unlocking of hidden psychic abilities. The serpent is also intimately connected to the mysteries of life and death, embodying the cyclical nature of existence, shedding its skin to be reborn anew. This symbolism finds a powerful echo in Gnostic cosmology, where the serpent often represents the divine wisdom that opposes the demiurge, the creator god who imprisons humanity in the material world. The serpent, in this context, is not an evil entity, but but rather a liberator offering gnosis or secret knowledge that can lead to enlightenment and escape from the confines of earthly existence. Perhaps the most potent image is that of the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail, a symbol of cyclical existence, self-creation, and the eternal return. This image encapsulates the serpent's ability to both destroy and create, to bring about endings and beginnings, mirroring the ever-turning wheel of time and the endless dance of cosmic forces. But what happens when these powerful images are twisted and contorted through the lens of cosmic horror? Within Lovecraft's stories, serpentine and draconic entities and imagery abound, often serving as embodiments of primal fear and ancient, unknowable power. Consider Yig, the serpent god in The Curse of Yig, a being of immense power and terrifying wrath, whose curse can transform humans into grotesque serpent-like creatures. Or think of the deep ones in The Shadow over Innsmouth, with their reptilian traits, their cold, unblinking eyes, and their unsettling connection to the ancient, submerged city of Arlae. And of course, there is Cthulhu himself, whose dragon-like descriptions evoke a sense of immense, ancient power, a being whose very existence challenges the sanity of those who behold him. How do these creatures evoke such a profound sense of unease and dread? It is not merely their physical appearance, but rather the sense that they represent something alien, something fundamentally other, something that lies beyond the realm of human comprehension. The serpent, in Lovecraft's work, also often appears as a guardian of forbidden knowledge, echoing the ominous presence of the Necronomicon, the grimoire of unspeakable horrors. The knowledge contained within these forbidden texts is often described as serpentine in nature, twisting and corrupting the minds of those who dare to delve too deeply. Could these Lovecraftian serpents and dragons represent the terrifying aspects of cosmic forces beyond human control, the dark and chaotic energies that lie at the heart of the universe? They are the embodiments of the unknown, the unnameable, the forces that threaten to unravel the fabric of reality itself. But what if this terror isn't simply fiction? Let us now turn our gaze to another potent symbol, the star or constellation, a representation of cosmic order, celestial influence, and hidden dimensions that has captivated humanity for millennia. In occultism, the star or constellation is not merely a distant point of light, but rather a potent symbol of cosmic order, celestial influence, and hidden dimensions. It is a key element in astrology, Hermeticism, and Kabbalah, serving as a map of the universe and a guide to understanding its influence on human affairs. The stars are seen as fixed points in the heavens, each with its own unique energy and influence, shaping the destinies of individuals and entire civilizations. Can we truly map the cosmos? Hermeticism views the stars as conduits for divine power, transmitting celestial energies to the earth and influencing the course of human events. Kabbalah, the Jewish mystical tradition, sees the constellations as embodying divine archetypes, representing the emanations of God's infinite light into the finite world. The concept of fixed stars as gateways to other realms or sources of divine power further underscores the stars' esoteric significance. These celestial bodies are often seen as points of access to higher dimensions, allowing initiates to commune with spiritual entities or to gain access to hidden knowledge. And so, the star or constellation symbol serves as a reminder of humanity's connection to something larger than itself, a vast and interconnected cosmos that extends far beyond the limits of our perception. But what happens when this connection becomes a source of cosmic dread? In Lovecraft's stories, stars and constellations often serve as ominous signs, harbingers of cosmic dread, and gateways to unimaginable horrors. Consider The Color Out of Space, where a mysterious alien entity arrives on Earth in the form of a meteorite, its celestial origins poisoning the land and driving its inhabitants to madness. Or think of The Haunter of the Dark, where a star-shaped window serves as a portal for a malevolent entity to enter our world, bringing with it chaos and destruction. Lovecraft's descriptions of distant, cyclopean cities located on alien planets accessible only through astral projection or other arcane means, further underscore the ominous nature of these celestial locations. How do these celestial elements convey such a sense of cosmic insignificance and the terrifying vastness of the universe? These stars and constellations often represent forces beyond human comprehension, echoing the power and indifference of the great old ones, the ancient, cosmic entities that predate humanity and whose very existence challenges our understanding of reality. They are the embodiments of cosmic alienation, the forces that remind us of our insignificance in the face of the infinite. These Lovecraftian stars and constellations can be interpreted as representing the potential for cosmic forces to intrude upon and disrupt human reality, shattering our illusions of control and revealing the terrifying truth about our place in the universe. But what if these cosmic forces are not simply external threats, but also reflections of something within ourselves? In summary, the recurring presence and symbolic significance of serpents, dragons, and stars constellations in Lovecraft's work is undeniable. These symbols resonate deeply with broader occult themes and archetypes, suggesting a connection to a deeper understanding of cosmic principles and hidden realities. Could it be that Lovecraft, consciously or unconsciously, tapped into the collective unconscious, drawing upon the same archetypal images and esoteric ideas that have informed occult traditions for centuries? What if the horrors he portrayed were not simply products of his imagination, but glimpses into a darker, more unsettling reality? Other researchers have validated the connection that Lovecraft had with the occult, furthering our suspicion that the man was not just a writer, but a visionary. As we begin to piece these elements together, we start to see how Lovecraft's works might hold a mirror to our own understanding of existence, but we're just scratching the surface. What does this potential connection to occult knowledge mean for Lovecraft's legacy and for humanity's place in the cosmos? Could his stories serve as warnings, alerting us to the dangers of seeking forbidden knowledge and tampering with forces beyond our control? Or could they offer a glimpse into the potential for human consciousness to expand beyond the limitations of our current understanding, allowing us to glimpse the hidden dimensions of reality and connect with something far greater than ourselves? The answers may be more unsettling than we can possibly imagine, urging us to seek the light. Could it be that Lovecraft, despite his claims of disinterest, unknowingly tapped into something far deeper than mere imaginative fancy? Was his creative process a solitary act of invention, or did it, perhaps unintentionally, stumble upon echoes of ancient, hidden knowledge? Let us be clear, we are not attempting to rewrite history or to transform Lovecraft into a closet occultist. Lovecraft himself disavowed any deep knowledge or intentional use of occult themes. Rather, our exploration seeks to highlight surprising parallels, potential resonances between Lovecraft's entities and concepts and established occult principles. We aim to explore whether his cosmic horror, in its most unsettling aspects, might reflect a shared, subconscious understanding of cosmic forces, echoing through humanity's collective unconscious. In the following section, we will journey into the heart of these correspondences, highlighting instances where Lovecraft's creations seem to align with esoteric ideas. Our central question remains: could Lovecraft have unknowingly tapped into genuine occult currents, reflecting humanity's shared subconscious understanding of cosmic forces? What if his fictional creations were not entirely fictional? To begin to answer this, we need to consider the concept of correspondences, a cornerstone of occult philosophy and a key to understanding the potential links between Lovecraft's world and the esoteric traditions. The principle of correspondences posits that all things in the universe are interconnected, reflecting each other on different scales, from the microcosm to the macrocosm, famously summarized as above, so below. What does this truly imply? These correspondences manifest in different forms. Planetary correspondences link planets with specific qualities and influences. Elemental correspondences connect elements with aspects of reality, and symbolic correspondences reveal shared meanings between different symbols. Hermeticism, Kabbalah, and countless other esoteric traditions emphasize this interconnectedness, proposing that everything is part of a vast, unified web of existence. In Kabbalah, for instance, each sephira on the Tree of Life corresponds to a different aspect of God and a different part of the human body, reflecting the interconnectedness of the divine and the human. In alchemy, metals correspond to planets and possess specific spiritual properties, creating a complex system of symbolic relationships. But how does all of this manifest? This principle of interconnectedness extends beyond the purely physical realm, suggesting that seemingly coincidental events are not merely random occurrences, but rather manifestations of a deeper, meaningful connection. Carl Jung termed this phenomenon synchronicity, a concept that resonates strongly with the principle of correspondences. Seemingly unrelated events aligning in a meaningful way can signal a deeper connection between the individual and the cosmos. But what if Lovecraft's tales are more than just synchronicity? As we begin to explore instances where Lovecraft's creations exhibit these correspondences, we must ask ourselves if these parallels are simply coincidental, or if they suggest a deeper, perhaps intuitive, grasp of occult principles. Let us now turn our attention to two specific examples, Nyarlathotep, the crawling chaos, and Azathoth, the blind idiot god, and examine their potential counterparts in esoteric traditions. First, let us introduce Nyarlathotep, one of Lovecraft's most intriguing and versatile creations. He is often referred to as the crawling chaos, an entity of infinite forms and a messenger of the outer gods, capable of assuming countless guises to interact with humanity. He is a shapeshifter, a manipulator, and a deceiver, his true motives forever veiled in mystery. He is the emissary of ultimate cosmic indifference, but what is his purpose? In Lovecraft's stories, Nyarlathotep serves as an intermediary between humanity and the incomprehensible cosmic forces that govern the universe. He is a trickster, a deceiver, and a manipulator, often leading unsuspecting humans to their doom. In the dream quest of unknown Kadeth, he guides the protagonist, Randolph Carter, on a perilous journey through the dreamlands, testing his sanity and revealing glimpses of the terrifying realities that lie beyond human comprehension. In Nyarlathotep, he arrives on Earth as a charismatic pharaoh, mesmerizing crowds with his technological marvels while secretly sowing chaos and destruction. He embodies the seductive and destructive nature of forbidden knowledge, a warning against tampering with forces beyond our understanding. But is there any real-world analog to this entity? Consider Hermes in Greek mythology or Thoth in Egyptian mythology, both revered as messenger gods in their respective pantheons. Hermes, the fleet-footed Olympian, served as a divine herald, delivering messages between the gods and humanity, guiding souls to the afterlife, and presiding over commerce, eloquence, and magic. Thoth, the ibis-headed Egyptian deity, was the god of knowledge, writing, and wisdom, serving as a scribe to the gods and a guardian of sacred texts. Both figures were associated with communication, knowledge, and a certain degree of trickery, acting as intermediaries between different realms of existence. So, what do we make of this? The correspondences are striking. Both Nyarlathotep and Hermes Thoth serve as intermediaries between different realms or levels of existence. Nyarlathotep bridges the gap between humanity and the outer gods, while Hermes Thoth connect the mortal world with the divine realm. Both are associated with knowledge, communication, and trickery. Nyarlathotep manipulates and deceives, while Hermes is known for his cunning and Thoth for his wisdom, which can be used for both benevolent and malevolent purposes. Both possess mutable forms and can appear in various guises. Nyarlathotep shifts between human and monstrous forms, while Hermes is often depicted with winged sandals and a caduceus, symbols of his swiftness and authority. Are we looking at a coincidence or something more? Could it be that Lovecraft, in creating Nyarlathotep, unknowingly tapped into the archetypal figure of the messenger god, a recurring motif in mythology and esoteric traditions. Perhaps Nyarlathotep represents the dark side of this archetype, the seductive and destructive aspects of knowledge and communication when wielded without wisdom or compassion. But the rabbit hole goes deeper. Let us now turn to Azathoth, perhaps the most terrifying and enigmatic entity in Lovecraft's pantheon. Described as the blind idiot god, Azathoth resides at the center of the cosmos, a chaotic, mindless entity surrounded by dancing and piping outer gods. He is the ultimate source of primal chaos and unknowable power, a being whose very existence defies human comprehension. But what does he actually do? Azathoth's role in Lovecraft's mythos is both simple and terrifying. He is the unthinking, unknowing source of all creation. His mindless dreaming spawns the universe, while his chaotic nature threatens to unravel it at any moment. He is a being beyond reason, beyond morality, beyond any human conception of order or purpose. What could possibly compare to this level of madness? In Kabbalah, we encounter the concept of Ein Sof, often translated as limitless or infinite. Ein Sof represents the unmanifest source of all creation, the primordial nothingness from which everything arises. It is a state of pure potentiality, existing before any form or structure beyond human comprehension. The Ein Sof is often described as a veil, shielding humanity from the unbearable brilliance of the divine source. The similarities are starting to pile up, but how do they correlate? Again, the correspondences are striking. Both Azathoth and Ein Sof represent a primordial state of existence before the manifestation of the universe. Azathoth is the blind idiot god, while Ein Sof is the unmanifest nothingness. Both are associated with chaos, boundlessness, and incomprehensibility. Azathoth's mindless chaos threatens to destroy the universe, while Ein Sof exists beyond any human understanding of order or structure. Both exist beyond human understanding and defy attempts at rationalization. Azathoth's mindless dreaming cannot be comprehended, while Ein Sof's infinite nature transcends human intellect. How much of this is by design? Is it possible that Lovecraft, in conceiving of Azathoth, intuitively grasped the concept of a formless, chaotic source of creation, a concept that has been explored by mystics and philosophers for centuries? Perhaps Azathoth represents the terrifying aspects of this concept, the potential for chaos and destruction that lies at the heart of existence. As we move on, remember this thought. In summary, our exploration of Nyarlathotep and Azathoth has revealed surprising correspondences between Lovecraft's creations and occult concepts. Nyarlathotep echoes the archetypal figure of the messenger god, while Azathoth reflects the concept of a formless, chaotic source of creation. These parallels suggest that Lovecraft may have unknowingly tapped into deeper archetypal patterns and esoteric principles, infusing his cosmic horror with a hidden layer of meaning. The question persists: what if the monsters aren't the point? Perhaps Lovecraft's genius lay not in inventing something entirely new, but in intuiting something ancient and profound. Was he merely a writer of fantastical tales, or was he, in some strange, unintentional way, a seer glimpsing truths that have been veiled in mystery for millennia? What implications would that carry? What we'll discover next is even more shocking. Let us delve further into the forbidden and explore how the Necronomicon, Lovecraft's infamous grimoire, relates to the concept of hidden knowledge in occult traditions, and what this might reveal about humanity's relationship with the unknown. As we conclude our exploration into the shadowed depths of Lovecraft's mythos, we stand at the precipice of a disquieting revelation. What began as an examination of fictional cosmic horror has led us down a path of surprising parallels, potential archetypal echoes, and unsettling hints of hidden knowledge. From the crawling chaos, Nyarlathotep, to the blind idiot god, Azathoth, and the forbidden secrets veiled within the Necronomicon, we have traversed the landscape of Lovecraft's imagination, seeking to understand its potential connections to ancient occult traditions. But what have we truly discovered? Throughout our journey, we have considered the potential intersection of cosmic horror and esoteric truth, the role of archetypes in shaping Lovecraft's creations, and the enduring power of forbidden knowledge. We have seen how Lovecraft's entities might be interpreted as manifestations of universal archetypes, the Necronomicon as a cipher for suppressed wisdom, and the recurring motifs of cosmic insignificance and hidden dimensions as reflections of humanity's deepest fears and anxieties. But the question lingers: is Lovecraft's work purely fiction, or does it reflect a deeper, subconscious awareness of occult realities? To dismiss Lovecraft as merely a writer of fantastical tales would be a disservice to the profound, often unsettling, depths of his imagination. A purely reductionist view, focused solely on his personal biases or literary influences, would overlook the potential for his work to tap into something far more profound, something resonating with humanity's collective unconscious. Returning to our initial question, do Lovecraft's tales reflect genuine occult realities? We must acknowledge that definitive proof remains elusive. We cannot definitively state that Lovecraft was a conscious occultist, or that his stories are literal representations of hidden truths. However, the compelling evidence of parallels, symbolic resonances, and potential subconscious influences cannot be ignored. Perhaps Lovecraft's stories tap into a shared reservoir of archetypal images and symbolic patterns residing in the collective unconscious, a reservoir from which both occult traditions and imaginative fiction draw their power. By considering both the conscious and unconscious influences on Lovecraft's creative process, we open ourselves to a richer, more nuanced understanding of his work and its enduring appeal. The specific topic of Lovecraft and occultism connects to larger themes that resonate throughout human history: the unyielding human quest for knowledge, the elusive nature of reality, and the boundless power of the imagination. Lovecraft's stories resonate with readers because they express fundamental human fears and anxieties about the unknown, the vastness of the universe, and the inherent limitations of human understanding. His vision challenges us to reconsider our place in the cosmos and to confront the unsettling possibility that we are not alone, nor are we central to the universe. Lovecraftian dread speaks to the existential themes of meaninglessness and the search for purpose in a seemingly indifferent universe, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truths about our own insignificance and mortality. Having journeyed through these complex themes and ideas, we hope you have gained a new appreciation for both Lovecraft's work and the esoteric traditions that may have influenced it, consciously or unconsciously. Understanding the potential connections between Lovecraft and occultism can enrich one's appreciation of both, providing a new lens for understanding the human psyche and the nature of reality. May this exploration inspire you to continue seeking knowledge, challenging assumptions, and exploring the hidden dimensions of reality that lie just beyond the veil of our everyday perceptions. For within these shadows, we may find not only horror, but also a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the vast, enigmatic cosmos. And so, we return to the enigma of Lovecraft's life, his accidental genius lying in his ability to tap into the wellspring of human intuition, revealing the cosmic horrors that lie dormant within our collective subconscious. Lovecraft's accidental magic, revealing the hidden cosmos within. If whispers from beyond have stirred the ember of curiosity within you, like the video and continue on this enigmatic journey by subscribing to Vox Alta. In closing, remember the wisdom of the ancients, and so it is.